Hello, horror fans, and welcome back to another creepy little story time with me and Tricomy here. We've got some Reddit stories pulled up from the No Sleep subreddit, nowhere near as cinematic as last time, but the stories are kind of short, so we're gonna go ahead and try and see if we can get through a couple of them before Tricomy decides to sit there and either nope out, either mentally, physically, or just he dies. I'm not sure what happens.
Dude, I already noped out mentally and physically. What are you talking about? Wasn't here from the get-go.
He's here in spirit only.
That's right.
From beyond the grave, Tricomy joins us. Of course, go ahead and make sure you support him over there at twitch.tv/Tricomy. And if you are watching over any of the other streams, I've got Kick, I've got YouTube. If you're right here on Twitch, thank you for being here. But don't forget to like, subscribe for more content such as this.
Yeah.
You got your stuff up, buddy?
I think so. We're good. I think we're good to go.
Cool, man. Cool. So it's been a minute. Like it's been a crazy month. Since we've gone and done a story. Unfortunately, I wanted to do a lot more of these this month, but it's just been life's been crazy. Life's been kind of like taking time away from stuff that I didn't want to do, and then like just having kids is been a lot too. Wanted to sit there and spend Halloween moments with them. So.
Oh man, I straight forgot to tell you. You'll never get this. Just as we're all hanging out here, the wife broke her leg.
I think I remember you tell. Yeah, what happened? Give me spin the yarn of that. That'll be our first story. What the hell happened to her leg?
So let's be clear with this. I have told my wife, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna call her out pretty much on my stream because why not?
Call her out for a broken leg. You're going for husband of the year already. Everyone listening.
That's right. I'm gonna win this right now. So I love this woman to death. I've told her 1,000 times, when you take your Great Dane out to go hang out in the yard, and my mother and father's dog is out there too. His name is Gary, and he's insane. Okay? And those two, when they get to running, they're nuts.
Okay.
And our Great Dane's name is Juliet.
Okay.
And she'll do this thing where she runs up to Sarah and like will body check her to be like kind of like, hey, I'm finished playing with him, get him away from me.
Right.
And I've told her 100 times, make sure that you're paying attention to him.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, she didn't do it. Or paying attention to her. And lo and behold, she didn't do it. Juliet came up, body checked her. And this woman is the only woman I've ever seen. She doesn't fall forward. She doesn't fall backwards. She doesn't fall to the left or to the right. She goes straight down. I don't know how she does it. It's insane. But she will fall straight down.
Okay.
And apparently, she fell straight down and then broke her fibula.
Oh, ow.
Yeah. So now she's
I mean,
around.
it's the smaller of the two, but still, like, ow.
Right. So apparently, she's walking around in a boot now, and she's been laid up on the couch for the last week, just trying to heal.
Picturing your poor wife getting freaking like body checked by what is it like only the dog version of the fucking like fucking tackle from a fucking I can't think of football terms now. Why I can't think of football terms? Football dog go grr and go ow, oh, and then she go down.
I'm a fight fan. I don't watch the footballs.
I know. You like when people rub on each other a little more intently.
Oh, dude, aggressive cuddling is where it's at.
Aggressive cuddling.
But yeah, no, we've got two giant dogs. We've got a Great Dane and we've got a Saint Bernard.
Oh my. Yeah, those are some big ones.
But yeah, no, she fell straight down, broke it, and we spent, a little bit of time in an urgent care, and they put her in a boot, and she's been pretty much laid up on the couch for a week. She's starting to get better, but.
Well, poor Tricomy. Our hopes and prayers go out to her. Hopefully she's be doing better soon. Hopefully she'll be out the kicking your ass here in no time.
Oh, she already is. From the couch.
Yeah. Oh no, mine too. Especially with the mine's pregnant thing going on right now. So it's
yeah.
My wife's doing the same damn thing. It's just yeah. All right. I think all right. So we're doing no sleep stories tonight. I don't know if we've mentioned that. So we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be kind of like trading off and on. They're kind of short. I mean short relatively. I mean Tricomy's already gotten on to me about how long this is. This is about a chapter in what is, I can assume, a fucking child's novel book. So I mean that's short in my book. Okay. I don't even think the first thing of Harry Potter, the first chapter of Harry Potter, is this long. So I mean, we'll be quick. They won't take long. We'll talk through them. We'll discuss things. If anybody else is here and wants to sit there and give their little insight into it, please put it in the chat. Let us know what you guys think of what's going on here. Chat will not be visible, but it will be visible to me. So I will see it. And they'll, unless you say something stupid, I'm not going to sit there and say that. But if there's insightful information, it'll be brought up.
Jim Dale's better than Stephen Fry.
Yeah. How fucking
Wait.
dare you?
Wait, that's that out loud?
How?
So on to the stories. I mean, we're reading horror stories, right?
No, whoa.
Or was that a horror story?
This might be a hard stop into left field. Are you really gonna come back at me and tell me Jim Dale's better than freaking Stephen Fry? Stephen Fry, the one who narrates Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you freaking plebeian? Is that what's going on here?
Hey, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is one of my favorite things, but still I like the way that Jim Dale does Harry Potter.
I like the way his voice sounds. It sounds so good. Hermione! You're gonna get over here, Hermione! The troll gonna kill you! Fucking Jim Dale.
He's so angry.
Fucking Jim Dale.
What did Jim Dale do to you?
He ruined about 10 years of my life not listening to the Stephen Fry version of it on the audiobook, okay? That's what he did. Jim Dale, I'm coming for you, okay?
I got a feeling Jim Dale hides out in your pantry and wakes up every time you go to eat breakfast, he smacks you in the head or something.
Just jumps out, ha-ha, and just fucking punches me square in the nose. Fucking fight with him for years.
Good grief.
It's like he's like my next door neighbor or whatever like that. Like it's like, what is it, Timmy Turner's dad, Dinkelberg. I'm just Jim. Oh man.
All right,
let's get into it. All right, we're gonna be reading I'll be reading the first one here tonight. The first one's gonna be called 11 Rules for Dipshits Who Bought a Haunted House. Probably Jim Dale, dipshit.
Thanks for the follow, baby.
Yeah. Written by Zacharias Frost. So if you want to go ahead and any support, if you like the story, don't hesitate to go over to Reddit, check out any more of his work, support him on all that kind of stuff. It was written about 5 years ago, so it's not a new story, not an old story. 5 years isn't that long time. I mean, whenever we're old, I guess 5 years doesn't sound bad. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and start this one. Kick it off, if you will. Well, you really screwed up this time, didn't you? You've had a gnarly deal on a beautiful home that almost seemed too good to be true, and you jumped at it. And now you're all moved in, you started to notice some anomalies. You know the type. The spooky dooky anomalies of the supernatural persuasion. Bumps in the night, doors opening and closing by themselves, auditory hallucinations of voices and whispers. It's more common than you may think, but not everyone realizes the danger. I've moved a lot, and I don't hear no auditory hallucinations. Fuck you. Get a dog. Dog, cat, whatever. Will immediately be like, "What was that?" Dog. Go back to sleep.
I was already checked out when he said spooky dookie.
Spooky dookie. You ever take a spooky dookie before? It's every dookie in the fucking month of October.
Right, they're all spooky dookies.
It's all spooky dookies. Oh man, these signs could be proof that some forsaken lost soul inhabit your property. Maybe the previous grandmother self-immolated in the attic. Is that a term for unaliving? Maybe dear old dad went suddenly insane and repainted the house with the blood of his children. Oh my. Or mom tried seducing demons in the basement. If this sounds even vaguely familiar to you, and you are looking at the good old internet for help, then you've come to the right place. You see, I had this friend named Nathan. A couple months back, Nathan found a house for sale in southern Georgia. It was nestled among a remote stretch of woods just outside of Waycross. It was a historical area, an old colonial style home, just under 5,000 square feet. Yo.
Hold on really quick. To self-immolate means to set fire to oneself, especially as a form of protest or sacrifice.
Protest. Okay. So
the second one,
maybe Grandma burned her ass up in the attic.
Yeah, but the second definition says destroyer caused serious harm to oneself.
So it's.
So which one was it? Did she burn herself and sacrifice, or did she just?
Who knows what she did? Grandma's not doing good. Okay, she decided she was going to go see them demons herself.
Grandma
couldn't seduce the demons in the basement. She's like, well, I'm gonna go see them one way or the other, child.
So we're looking at an old colonial style home, huh?
Yeah, under 5,000 square feet. It's not very big. So wait, hold on. Under 5,000 square foot, 6 beds, 6 bath. All right, Zacharias, I'm all for it, dude. But please get your sizes correctly. 5,000 square feet. You are not getting 6 beds, 6 baths out of 5,000 square foot. Sorry. You're not doing it. Moving on. 6 bed, 6 bath with white picket fences and a dozen acres. The quintessential American dream house by all accounts. Minus the 5,000, whatever. The price was unbelievably low, but after Nathan contracted the real estate agent, he found that the price he had seen listed was indeed the price that was being asked for. Most people, I imagine, would have raised some pretty big red flags. But Nathan was an idiot.
I gotta admonish you. What
do you mean?
5,000 square feet is a big house. The average house in the United States is about 25,000 or 2,500 square feet.
I feel like I feel like that can't be.
It's how it is, dude.
Are you fact checking me here?
I'm fact checking you.
All right, fine.
I'm calling you fake news.
Zacharias, I apologize. All right, I've been fact checked. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I don't think I'm that wrong. Because I walk about 5,000 square feet every day for every freaking whatever. Regardless, not that big. I don't think it's big. Give me a 10,000 square foot house. That's what I want.
My house is 3,000. So.
Okay, well the cardboard box you live in.
Listen here. I'm done with you.
Nathan was an idiot. The confident type of idiot that believed machismo is substantial for conquering all of life's obstacles. It'll work. I know it's not kind to speak ill of the dead like that. Spoiler alert. But I'm trying to give accurate portrayal of the kind of person Nathan was. You know, the alpha male who hits on your girlfriend, lives at the gym, probably spanks his meat to his own selfies. For people like Nathan, friend is really just another word for ego reinforcer.
Where'd you find these?
They're on Reddit. Are you losing it over there?
Really? Is that what we're doing?
That's what he's doing, dude. Nathan's primo sigma, bro. That's what it is. All right, he's just a real sigma, bro. He was cocky and often let.
All right, Zacharias, let's get to something scary here. Come on,
we're getting there. All right, this is on the no sleep. It's on the top of the no sleep. We'll get to it. All right. He was cocky and often let pride get the better of him. His wife Janelle was actually my ex-girlfriend from a while back. Bit of a skank. Come on, dude. I'm trying. But practically a supermodel. They had 2 kids, Natalie and Mason, who were both spoiled brats. Again, I'm just trying to give honest perspective of them in hopes that we may learn something from what happened. Dude, you're fucking jealous as a motherfucker, bro. Calm down. My gosh. All right. You see, what happened to Nathan, which I'll get into later, was something which I believe I could have easily avoided if only he had followed a few simple instructions. After the funeral, I got to pondering the matter and realized that what we really need is a set of rules to follow if you believe your house is haunted. Let's begin. Rule number 1. When looking to purchase or rent a house, always ask for the history. Odds are, if a house is being offered at way below market value, then there's a very good reason for it to be that way. Nathan didn't do this, and thought that the under market price was simply the universe handing him something he didn't really earn, as it often seemed to do. Nathan jumped at the offer, and within a few weeks, he and his family were approved to begin moving in. I volunteered to help them move in, and I'll be honest, the house was absolutely gorgeous. Is it weird that you're best friends and, like, you dated his ex? I'm sorry, the dynamic is messing with me a little bit. And then, like, you hate his kids? What a shitty friend.
I don't like this guy.
I'm not a fan of him either. I'm not a fan. Didn't do this. House absolutely gorgeous. Things were great for them at first, but Nathan soon started noticing some odd occurrences. It started with the knocking sound that seemed to reverberate all over the house at odd hours. He said he could never seem to pinpoint where it was coming from, and it never seemed to originate from the same place twice. Eventually, he just chalked it up to the house settling, but that was just the beginning. I can see that. Rule number 2. Trust your gut. Your home is the last place you should feel uncomfortable. If you get that inkling of discomfort in the back of your mind that never seems to fully dissipate, pay attention to it. It's probably your subconscious trying to warn you. Nathan tried ignoring these sounds, told his wife that it was just normal or the wind, and comforted his children when they felt scared. He had 2 dogs, Rusty and Sailor. Both of them black labs, and both seemed to become very anxious after moving in. Nathan did his best to get medication to the dogs to help them relax, but it didn't seem to help much.
Don't call me out.
What?
My wife's calling me out for me touching my chin with my finger.
You're over there just fingering them dimples?
Shut up.
Do it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You're fine. All right, hold on. Where was I at? Okay. That brings us to rule number 3. Along with your gut, you should also trust your pets. Animals have instincts far greater than humans. It has been said that man is the only creature who will sense danger and still wander into it. Animals have a sense for the supernatural. Dogs and cats in particular. If you find them growling at what appears to be nothing or constantly staring into specific areas of the house, then pay attention to that. Odds are they can see something you can't. I call bullshit on number 3 because I've literally had chihuahuas that will bark at nothing for hours on end and try to scare me, but at the same time, like, I ain't no bitch, so they barking at nothing. I've lived here for years, and there's nothing going on here. Like 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be freaking on the news. Horror drunk died. Didn't see that guy living in the fucking attic, did ya? Sure didn't. Alright. Nathan told me that Rusty, the older of the 2 dogs, would pace each hall at night for hours. He said it was like he was standing guard over something. On more than one occasion, Rusty suddenly blurted into a furious bout of barking and snarling. Nathan would come out of the hall, but never found anything. He grew concerned for Rusty and took him to the vet. The vet confirmed he was in good health. Meanwhile, Sailor, the younger dog, slept at the side of Mason's bed each and every night. The poor boy soon developed crippling nightmares that would torment him relentlessly, and Sailor seemed to sense it. Each time Mason would wake up screaming, Sailor would be there to try and comfort him. Good dog. Get dogs! Dogs will save your problem. Anytime you hear a noise, just a dog. And that segues perfectly into our next rule. Rule number 4. Beware the nightmares. Young children are similar to animals in the way that they seem to more perceptive to things than adults are not. This one can be difficult because there are many root causes of nightmares with things like anxiety, depression, and other mental illnesses. The telltale signs is whether your child suddenly developed them after entering the home. Poor Mason had absolutely horrific dreams, and night after night he would be tormented by them. He often spoke of the blurry man that came to him while he slept and whispered terrible things. He even said that sometimes he would see the blurry man while he was awake, but never more than a quick glimpse, and always in the shadows or outside in the woods. I don't know, man. My kids don't scare easy, so I'm not really super worried about this. Like we like been watching horror movies all week with my kids, and I think what we watched last night. I think we watched like the third Annabelle movie with my daughter, and she's like 6. I was like, oh, she's gonna have nightmares, and like sure as hell, she's freaking out during the movie, and all night slept like a fucking rock. Not a single issue. So.
Oh, not my kid. He watched what was it, Woman in Black, and now he can't walk down the hallway without flipping the light on.
That's a good reason. Woman in Black is terrifying. They all die. Poor Daniel Radcliffe. That's a sad movie.
By the way, I'm taking Rule 5 and 6. I've been sitting here way too long.
You're already taking Rule 5 and 6? All right, hold on. Let me get when Rule 5 hits, you can take it. Where am I at? Child, home, outside the woods. All right, one more paragraph. You got it. Nathan and his wife worried that perhaps Mason was schizophrenic. The multiple doctors confirmed that this was not the case. They tried giving Mason sleeping pills, various supplements, and burned incense to help him sleep more peacefully. It worked for a while until Natalie started having them too.
Rule number 5. Try to determine what kind of spirit you're dealing with. If you see flashes of a small child running through the halls at night, or orbs spiraling in the air, then odds are your ethereal neighbor is rather benign. Some people even discover they rather enjoy life with a spectral roommate, and their antics to be rather interesting.
Wildly specific.
Most believe that spirits who pass away before completing what their soul desired will become stuck in a sort of purgatory. Many are scared, confused, and angry, but some, primarily young children, seem to be almost jubilant at times. Most of these are unnerving but altogether harmless. But then, there are other spirits. Rule number 6. If you or any member of your family develop inexplicable bruises, cuts, or lesions, then do not take them lightly. This should be a massive red flag, and is a very bad sign. If you feel as though you are being attacked as you sleep and wake up with unexplained scratches or wounds, then just get the hell out of the house, honestly. A malevolent spirit capable of inflicting physical wounds is not something to be trifled with. Odds are, it's a demon. And honestly, that is the best case scenario. There are other non-Abrahamic related entities that could be responsible as well. They are very rare, but if encountered, well, I'm afraid even my handy set of rules won't be enough to stop them.
It's the best case scenario. Well, it could be a demon, and honestly, you're gonna wish it was. What?
It doesn't. Yeah, no. No. Just no.
Dude, I'm so far just from where we've gone through the thing. I just kind of feel like the author has just watched the very first Conjuring movie and just taken notes and be like, nope, they done fucked that up. Should have listened. Right. Should have listened to the fucking dog. Not bruises. No, she should have known right then. Like that. I literally I'm just playing the movie out in my head as we're going through it. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's where you are in the movie, huh?
If I counted the amount of non-known bruises that I show up with, I'm like, oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah. The older you get, the more times you just wake up and be like, did I really sleep that wrong? Normally it's from kids jumping in your bed in the middle of the night and fucking just kicking you in the chest or some shit like that. But yeah, it happens all the time.
All right. Natally.
So proud of you.
I'm gonna get back on track, I promise.
Okay.
Natalie and Mason suffered multiple scratch marks, wounds, and even a few bruises that almost looked like bite marks. Nathan's wife, Janelle, was also subjected to these attacks. Children's teachers at school began to notice and became quite worried for their safety. Obviously, their first thought was not paranormal, but rather the children being abused at home. Only when social services threatened to remove the children from his custody did Nathan finally agree to move them out of the house. Janelle and the kids moved in with their mother a couple hours away, and Nathan was left all alone with the dogs. Rule number 7.
Okay.
I can keep going.
No, go ahead.
Rule number 7. Let people know what is going on. Yes, I know the thought of admitting to a close friend that you believe your house is haunted may be a daunting one, but it's usually better than the alternative. No, it's not. If my house is haunted, the first person I'm calling is you. I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah, we're investigating the shit out of the house.
Right, you gotta hear this.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, without a doubt, we're investigating the fuck out of that house.
The modern world would rarely take these claims seriously. We put ghosts in movies and video games, but when someone actually claims to see one, we aren't so quick to believe them. Technology and science have led us to believe we are safe. That is our folly. But it's also a topic for a different day. This is yet another rule that Nathan did not abide. The worse that things got for him and his family, the more secluded he became. On numerous occasions, he phoned the police saying that he believed someone had broken in. They never found evidence of it. Eventually, they began to put him on a blacklist and warned that any further contact would result in legal trouble. Rather than tell his parents or brother or any of his friends what was going on, he retreated into himself. He became fidgety and paranoid, and at times refusing to return phone calls and texts from his loved ones. He just broke contact, and things only got worse.
Nathan seems like a kind of a prideful guy. So, I mean, I could definitely kind of see, like, when you're, like, this prideful guy and you think nothing's going to go wrong for you or whatever like that, like, once you, like, kind of break that pride, I could definitely kind of understand, like, breaking Rule 7 and be like, yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody. Because you kind of got yourself set up in this whole area of, like, I need to be this person that everyone, like, looks up to. Everyone's going to enjoy me, like, whatever type shit. So, gotcha. All right, I'm going to take Rule 8 and 9.
Go for it.
We'll come back at you when we get down to a little bit ways down. All right.
Yeah.
Rule 8 and 9 sort of belong in the same category, although one is a little more extreme than the other. Rule 8, if you suspect something is up, it doesn't hurt to perform a cleansing. They did that. They did incense. Like, they incensed the boy's room and he slept better, so they did the cleansing. Like
they didn't smudge right.
They improperly smudged.
They improperly smudged.
No good smudging. Like I said earlier, the modern world has little time to entertain the notion of ghosts and supernatural, but that shouldn't ward you off. If you're unsure about whether your home is being haunted or not, then a routine cleansing can do wonders for you. I'm willing to bet there are mediums and priests in your town that can get the job done. Even if you can't find anyone local, you can always just go online and find instructions yourself. It's not as effective that way, but it's better than doing nothing. Rule 9. If you're really feeling as though you're in danger, get someone to perform an exorcism. Man, that jumped off the thing. Right to exorcism. All right. Rule 9 is exorcism. Where are we going from here?
Do nothing else. Just go straight for the exorcism.
Right. Like, you're usually like, all right, cool. Like, cleansing. Okay, cool. Like, no. Rule 8, cleansing. Rule 9, exorcism. What?
Well, what is it that Jason and Grant used to say is like the main thing is that you try to take your house back by telling whatever it is that that they're not wanted there and that they need to leave.
Right. I think that would be like a great, like, a slight ramp up. But, like, I'm just kind of figuring out, like, if Rule 9 is exorcism, where do you go? Like, the way he kind of sets up these paradigms of, like, how it's ramping up confuses me. Because, like, all of a sudden being like, you're gonna wish it was a demon, like, I don't think I'd ever wish it was a demon.
Honestly, this is the best case scenario. No?
Right? Like, if Rule 9 is exorcism, I'm scared of Rule 10. Like, what the hell are you gonna put in there? My goodness. All right, Rule 10, perform an exorcism. It's the step that no one wants to take, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Priests and spiritual leaders are your go-to for these kinds of things, even if you yourself are not religious. These people honestly do know how to help. I think you have to be religious at some point at this point. There is some evidence that Nathan was attempting to do this, but it's unknown why exactly it didn't work out. Maybe he second-guessed himself and thought he could handle it. Or maybe his ego took control once again. Nathan has been collecting evidence for a while and has amassed quite a stash of clues. Clues? He had audio recordings which relayed banging on the walls and footsteps in the attic. He took multiple videos, but none of them really showed anything except for the last one. But by that point, it was too late. In his journal, he also wrote that he experienced items in the house levitating on several occasions, but sadly had no proof of this. All right, rule 10. How are we ramping it up now? The big one. Whatever you do, do not try to antagonize the spirit. This should really go without saying, but angrily challenging the spirit or daring it to manifest is a really bad idea. But as you may have guessed, Nathan and his unlimited stream of testosterone decided to do just that. Does that not go with exorcism? Is that not what exorcism is? Like, does that not fall into that category?
I mean, to me, that seems like a giant antagonization. But I mean, have you ever watched the Kling brothers? That's like their big thing. Like, they go in and all they try to do is piss off whatever it is that's freaking haunting anything. It's the greatest thing to watch ever.
Rule 10 is don't walk through your house and be like, come fight me, you whispery bitch! Like,
which I'm definitely doing. First thing I'm doing, I'm like, all right, we're throwing down, let's go. Get your ghostly ass out here.
Fucking scaring me? Hell no! All right. Don't piss it off. Okay, sure. That'll go without saying, yeah. He got really drunk one night and began ruminating on all that had been happening. Nathan was always a skeptic, but even he couldn't ignore the psychological impact on his family, whether it was imagined or not. He realized his relationship with his children and wife were being heavily strained, and his new house had become a place of hostility. This made Nathan very angry. Nathan
Really?
It says it made him...
Go into Elmer Fudd at the end of the sentence there and try to pass on that? No.
He's so mild. So Nathan stood up and shouted at his empty house for the spirits to come forth and face him. He was met only with silence, and so he shouted again. Never once did the spirit answer his call, and after a few more verbose challenges, he broke into a bout of laughter, probably believing himself to look ridiculous. Apparently not everyone who was watching felt the same, though. Nathan managed to stumble into bed not long after, and was out cold within a couple minutes. Nathan had kept a security camera in his room in hopes of capturing proof that he might have found something. At around 2:13 a.m., Nathan is seen beginning to stir in his sleep in the security video. He grunts and speaks briefly, but the words are unintelligible. Suddenly, his eyes sprung open in the bed and began glancing around the room. Nathan appeared to be struggling, but his body didn't move. It is believed he was suffering an episode of sleep paralysis, which left him temporarily paralyzed. His eyes continued to dart rapidly around the room. Then something happened that no one who saw the video could explain. The bedroom door slowly rolled open, but the darkness of the hallway was all-consuming. Nathan's chest began frantically pumping up and down as his eyes stretched open wide. Something was then seen moving into the hall. It could have been chalked up to a trick of the light at first, but then a hand was seen reaching through. It was gnarled and spindly, like the wretched malformed appendage of some abysmal denizen. The figure slowly sauntered through the doorway, its tall, dark silhouette nearly grazing the top of the doorframe. It had no definite features, appeared only as a hooded, humanoid individual. No eyes or face, just a shadow corporealized from Nathan's deepest nightmares. Poor Nathan was heard mumbling and whimpering frenetically, but in his paralyzed state, he was unable to fight back or flee. He could do nothing more than watch in absolute horror as the thing approached him. It stopped at the foot of his bed and just stared at him for about a minute. Nathan continued to hyperventilate and didn't appear to blink once during the entire ordeal. Then the thing finally moved closer. It then leaned down only a couple of inches away from his face and appeared to whisper something. It was too quiet for the mic on the camera to pick up, but needless to say, it did not make Nathan feel any better about the situation. Suddenly, the thing lashed out with its twisted hands, constricting like pythons around Nathan's throat. In his paralyzed state, he couldn't even struggle against the shrouded attacker. Within a minute, Nathan's chest stopped moving, and his eyes fell still. Holy shit. That took a dive.
Yep, that jumped right off the cliff and just said, "We're here."
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I can kind of see why this one got a little scary. That was well done. Okay, we're moving right along. Do you want to take over from here, or do you want me to go on?
Sure. The entity retracted its hands and just stared at him for about a minute. Then, as if taunting those who would see the footage, it looked directly into the camera. It whispered something again, but again it was too quiet to discern what it was. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it waltzed out of the room and vanished back into the darkness. Nathan was found by his wife Janelle a few days later, and she called the police. After an autopsy, Nathan was determined to have died via strangulation, much as what was shown in the video. Cops scoured the premises and found footprints from the intruder. However, the footprints were soon matched to a pair of Nathan's own boots.
Interesting.
What?
It was his own boots.
Right. The police, of course, were not so quick to believe that Nathan was simply killed by supernatural forces. They conducted interviews with the neighbors, friends, and family members. They conducted interviews with neighbors, friends, and family members, but none of them seemed capable or motivated enough to have done it. There were no signs of breaking and entering, and nothing had been stolen from the home. They came to me and conducted an interview as well, but of course, that was a futile effort. I mean, sure, the fact that Janelle was my ex-girlfriend was reason to suspect me, but I quickly dissuaded their accusations. Nathan was my friend. Despite him not really being a good friend, what kind of friend bones your girlfriend behind your back anyways? I'm not bitter about it, though. At least, not as far as the police are concerned. My alibis were solid, and that's good enough for them. This brings me to my final rule. Rule number 11. Make sure you exhaust all other options before coming to the conclusion that your house is in fact haunted. If only Nathan would have taken a little more thoroughly, then maybe he'd still be alive today. Maybe he wouldn't have found the many wireless speakers hidden in his attic to play sounds of knocking. Maybe he would have found the patches in his air ducts that leaked mild doses of hallucinogenic drugs into his home. Maybe he would have detected the dog whistle alarm that caused his dogs to react so strangely. What is going on?
What the fuck, bro?
If he bothered to check himself, he may have found trace amounts of, I'm not able to see this, succinylmethanol?
Yep.
Methanoium?
Yep.
A paralyzing toxin that once ingested will leave the person immobile yet conscious to all pain. It would have been difficult to find, even coroners do not normally test for the substance unless specifically requested. No matter how you really slice it, this entire ordeal really comes back to Nathan himself. If only he'd been a better person and not constantly demeaned his peers at every turn. If only he hadn't been so stubborn and proud. If only he hadn't gone behind my back and boned my ex-girlfriend, thus ruining our future and sending me into the spiraling depths of crippling depression, then maybe I would have helped him. So you may be wondering, is this my confession? No, of course not. This is only my list of suggestions and rules for how things may have turned out differently for Nathan and his family. These are all hypothetical explanations, and are in no way to be considered incriminating evidence to be used in court against me, or anything else for that matter. Besides, if this really was a confession, then that would make anyone who read it an accessory to murder, and we certainly wouldn't want that. I hope you can understand that, and I do hope that we can trust each other in this regard. After all, I have really good software for tracing IPs, and Reddit makes it incredibly easy to access them. We wouldn't want your house to suddenly become haunted, now would we?
Oh my god, dude! Oh! Dude, that M. Night Shyamalan turn. Holy crap, dude. Whoa. I mean, because, all right, so you go into this thing expecting that it's like, it was kind of funny or stupid at first, like he's just going through these lists, but like, it's all this thing to make his freaking buddy that he's pissed off at for stealing his girlfriend or whatever think he's in a haunted house until he kills him.
Right.
Holy crap. Dude, that turn.
Bro, I love the top comment. So, like, is the house back on the market?
Yeah, alright, so that's the only thing that's kind of weird. Alright, so yeah, he killed his friend, but the whole beginning thing about him getting a house on the cheap, that was literally just him fucking just being pissy and like, oh, you got a stupid amazing deal for a stupid house, it's awesome. And then he just, I guess that was his like last straw of like, alright, fine, you're getting everything, I'm gonna take something from you, and something's turned out to be everything. Oh,
grief,
bro! Though honestly, 10 out of 10. That was amazing turn.
Yeah, he started off really slow and kind of like, man, are we gonna actually get to any horror here, or is this like where are we going? Because like I'm not following this.
Yeah.
But definitely turned in the end there. I liked that.
Oh man, yeah. No, whenever it started getting to the part where like. Right around 2:13 a.m. Right when it started to go to the part where he's like going to bed and seeing something, and then the entity, which is him, getting in there and you know killing him and whatnot. Like that was it actually? It had to be actually him because he must have stolen his shoes and gone in there to actually kill him.
Right.
Oh. Because yeah, they said he was actually killed by strangulation, but how do they describe him though? Tall, dark silhouette, nearly grazing on top of the door frame. Humanoid individual, no eyes or face, just shadow corporealized from Nathan's deepest nightmare. I thought he said like wretched, malformed appendage from some.
They did.
Abyssal denizen. So how are you seeing like on the video? So you've got to be able to see that. Like how is he looking like this damn monster, basically?
Hollywood makeup? I don't know.
I'm just imagining like this like fog of black just kind of coming in, and then like you kind of pick out like slight features from it. That's what I got kind of picturing. But damn, dude. All right, well then that comment about something worse than a demon. Oh, okay. All right, you know what?
It could be your best friend coming to murder you.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Wow. Well done. Hold on. All right, let me go back. Zacharias Frost. Check him out. Like, great story. Man, I gave you so much shit and got called on a lot of shit in the beginning, but man. Well done, sir. Well done.
Admonish.
Yeah. Well done. Great story. Great story. Oh, dude, I got chills. I actually got chills. I don't think I've had chills in a while. Not since the last story.
I'm kind of interested in the second one, man.
Which one is that? The instructions?
The terrifying note addressed to my 6-year-old.
Okay.
By Creeping Dread.
All right, and it's not crazy long.
No.
All right. So how do you want to do? You want to start it out?
I can start this one out.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, start it out.
I'll take the first half. You take the second.
Sure. We are going to be reading The Terrifying Note Addressed to My 6-Year-Old Son. It was written about 8 years ago. Creeping_dread over on the r/no sleep. So if you like the story, enjoy what's going on here, go ahead and check them out. Give some support. Give some support to these artists, man, because these are pretty good stories. So after you.
All right, here we go. My wife and I are beside ourselves right now. This is the type of thing you see in the movies, but now it's happening to us. Yesterday evening, a little after 6, my wife and I were in the kitchen cooking dinner when my 6-year-old, almost 7, son Kyle walked in from the back patio. He was holding a folded piece of paper in his hand and had a strange look on his face. My son is constantly drawing and loves to read and write, so this usually wouldn't have stood out to me at all. But he'd just come in from hitting a baseball off the tee and really had no reason to be holding a piece of paper. My son is the type of kid who wears his emotions on his sleeve. When I asked to see the piece of paper, I could tell he didn't really want to give it to me because he flashed his typical, "I'm going to be in trouble if I do" face. Oh, I know that face. I insisted, and he finally handed it over. Here's what it said. Dear Kyle, I know this note may sound scary. Your daddy will think it is. But grown-ups don't know how friendships can grow when kids are just left to be kids. And what a kid you've become, Kyle. You're growing fast as a weed. Last night off the tee, you stroked it for 3, and your team took a 2-run lead. Yes, I've been watching you. I've been watching. A while now, it's true.
Oh, I got a shiver on that one.
Dude, I'm already like standing on my... I think we would make perfect friends. You're a kid through and through, and I'm one too. Even if just for pretense.
Oh, no.
The problem, I fear, is your parents. I doubt they would let us hang out. One is just rude, the other a prude.
Fuck.
Church going, pure, holy, devout. I've got an idea. Can you tell my handshaking? For me and you getting together. Tomorrow at 3, you can come and see me at the address attached to this letter. But please, pretty please, don't tell your dad. Your mom and he won't understand. Just come by yourself. I'll be dressed as an elf, and we can even hold hands. Would you like that? You will. You really will, Kyle. We will have, my oh my, so much fun. So I'll see you at 3 by the sycamore tree, where our 2 kindred souls become one. There was an address scribbled at the bottom of the page. 3 orange circle.
Yep. You immediately call the police. And then tell them where you will be with the shotgun in about 5 minutes. That's exactly how you respond to that. But
I'm about to become a kindred soul.
Oh no! Woo! Man, that was intense. Just letter. Oh God, man, horrifying.
You're up, dude. You can finish this one out. No.
I knew immediately it wasn't a prank. Carrie, my wife, is the youth group leader at our church, and Kyle did just have a t-ball game last night. Orange Circle is only 1 street over from our street, and I'm pretty sure Lot 3 is the corner lot on the cul-de-sac, which has an empty house with a large sycamore tree in the backyard. Was this sicko really watching Kyle's game? What would have happened if I hadn't seen him with the letter? I shouted for my wife to come read it. When she did, she flipped out and ran for the phone to call the police. I flipped the note over, and on the back was some more text. I couldn't read it at first, but quickly realized it was written backwards. I'm guessing so Kyle couldn't have read it. To read it, I had to hold it up in front of a mirror. Here we go. And now, just in case, if your dad's reading this, it's time to tell him a story. If your mom flaps her hole, or your dad tells a soul, I'm afraid things might get rather gory. On the 10th of July, 1995, a woman named Susie went missing. Susie, you see, unlike you and me, wasn't careful about who she'd been kissing. I kept her a while, but old things get so boring. And in time, I'd gotten my fill. I threw her away, and to my great dismay, the hunger I felt plagued me still. I tried to bury it down, deep down inside, where nothing down there can escape. But lately it seems I see Kyle in my dreams, and that hunger can no longer hide. Now that you know what I'm capable of, more than both of you can comprehend. If one word is spoken, then children get broken, and Susie will have a new friend. Whew! The police arrived in half hour, and we showed them the note. They told us to stay inside and lock the doors for the remainder of the night. The man had obviously been in our fenced-in backyard, which made me sick to my stomach and had me cursing myself for not installing a security camera I'd gotten for Christmas. Nothing happened last night, thank God. This morning, I got a call from the detective assigned to our case. He'd reviewed the list of missing person cases from 1995, and something had turned up. Suzanne Carrington went missing July 10th, 1995. Just as the note said. The last person to see her alive was a friend who saw her at the 24-hour gym they attended together. Susie had said she'd met someone new and wanted to get a quick workout in before getting ready for their second date. Susie was never seen again, and the man was never identified. And maybe the worst part was Suzanne's address. 3 Orange Circle. I'm supposed to meet with the detective later this evening. What should we do? Update. The detective just called back. They're sending an unmarked patrol car with 2 plaincloth officers to 3 Orange Circle at 3 p.m. today. Kyle's teachers have been notified, and he's safe at school and won't be going to recess today. I'll update tomorrow with any news. There is a link that says Update 1. I'm gonna click it.
I got time probably to get through this, and I'm probably gonna have to hop off.
Okay, there is more. There is more. If you click Update 1,
there's 2 more. Let's see. There's Update 2. This is we're not gonna get through all this.
Oh, there's so many updates. Oh,
yeah,
I thought. All right. We're all right. So we got time for like one more story. All right. We might
finish the update.
We might come. You want to finish the update?
I mean, we can come back tomorrow if you want and finish update 2 and 3. Because dude, this one's got me like.
It's in. I'm into it. Like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's finish the next update. We can finish this one off here, and then we will go through the next one. Do you want to start it and I'll finish it, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Terrifying note addressed from a 6-year-old to us on a second note. Update 1. It's crazy how you can be rocking along, living life the best way you know how, and then something like this happens. And in a moment, I think it should be.
Yeah, it just goes back to the original one.
Right. And in a moment, everything comes crashing down around you. I seriously woke up this morning, Kyle sleeping between Carrie and I, feeling like every bit of color had been drained out of the damn world. My stomach is still in a knot, but at least Kyle's safe. Thank you for all the support. We've never dealt with anything like this before. Hopefully we never will again, and it's nice to know that people care. Here's what happened since my last post. Detective car dropped by the house last night around 7 p.m. I want to stop and applaud for this sounding like it's actually real, like, because it's unnerving me.
Dude, honestly, like, right? Like, they're actually giving, like, updates to, like, an actual thing that's happening. Oh!
Yeah. I mean, so, let's, Detective Carr dropped by the house last night around 7 p.m. I could tell he'd had a long day. His thinning hair was a bit frazzled, like he'd been running his hand through it. And texts and calls kept popping up on the cell phone, which he'd dropped down our coffee table. He put the phone on silent, slid it into the case on his belt, as if to say, I've had enough for today, thank you very much. He reminded me about the plainclothes officers he dispatched to Orange Circle at 3 o'clock yesterday. The cruiser stayed parked in a nearby driveway with a clear view of Lot 3 for the better part of an hour, he said. The officers didn't see anyone, which didn't really surprise me. That cul-de-sac backs up to an undeveloped forested area, which means whoever wrote the note could have come and gone without using orange circle. Likely the reason he chose it. When no one showed, the officers walked down the street and took a quick look around. The house is abandoned, just like I thought, but they found one of the back doors pried open. They couldn't go in, no search warrant yet, but they're requesting one today. What?
No search warrant? Probable cause!
Right!
you you have probable cause!
Right, you have a note that says, "Hey, small child, come meet me here." Like,
oh, yeah. No, okay, okay. Oh.
The detective asked a lot of questions, and Carrie and I answered them to the best of our ability. Have we made any enemies lately? Has anything happened at the church? Have we seen anyone strange at Kyle's t-ball game? Good questions without answers. We racked our brains but couldn't come up with anything that would set someone off like this. Carr seems to think that it's someone we know, or at least who knows us. Someone smart, probably with a college education. The forensics lab has a note, and they're checking it for fingerprints. But the detective thinks this guy is too smart for that. Also, fingerprints are only helpful if the person has been arrested before. I have a sinking feeling this person never has been. He's also requested the entire missing persons file on Suzanne Carrington. They keep these old case files in the basement of City Hall, and he's hoping it can be tracked down. Maybe it will have some clues as to who this guy is. When the detective left, I realized I felt exposed, vulnerable. I started questioning every stern word I've ever spoken, every slight I've dished out, no matter how small, in every one of my relationships. Had Carrie and I somehow brought this on ourselves? Was something we said or did? The way we treated someone? It's like that guilt you feel when you're trying to go to sleep, but you know there's something you've left undone. You know it's useless to think about, but your brain won't listen. It's awful trying to rationalize why something like this is happening to you.
Yeah, man. Oh, crazy, dude. And so, all right, so Suzanne, she's got to be like high school, right? And that's what I'm assuming. Because she was going to date someone, and now this kid's 6. So, which is kind of a crazy switch.
Right.
In 1995, and we're assuming this is... I'm assuming, because it's uploaded 8 years ago, that it would be concurrent... That would be what? 2017? So 2017 from 1995, that's about almost 20 years. So that's a pretty big gap. I like that line about whenever you're like going to sleep and you know there's something left undone. That's definitely a feeling like everyone can have and everyone's had before. So it's a really it's a really good line there. That's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm laying in bed just having this idea that I need to do something, but like I just can't go to sleep. That's an easy feeling to kind of like to pair with. But oh man. Crazy. All right, am I taking from here or you got it?
Go ahead.
All right. Last night we slept, if you can call it that, with Kyle between us. He's still going to school because frankly it's safer there. You can't get in without being buzzed in, and there are security cameras everywhere. Even if this sicko is one of his teachers, which I highly doubt, he wouldn't dare do something to Kyle out in the open. That's not his game. Our cameras are being installed this afternoon. They couldn't come yesterday, but I wish to God they had. I saved this part for last because transcribing this made my skin crawl. Oh, this morning when she went out to get the paper, Carrie found a single white envelope in our mailbox. Inside was a folded note. I've got actual shivers for the next note. Oh, all right. Here we go. Dean and Carrie. Brilliant. Just brilliant. I know what you did. Did you really think that I wouldn't see? I warned you that talking would bring me a knocking, and now there's nowhere to flee. You've broken your vow, and you both know by now. You've brought this down on your own heads. I gave you a chance, but in this soundless dance, you only get one for you're dead. Remember that I am the faceless, the shadow that hunts in the night. Anyone really, or no one, and clearly, you're both unprepared for this fight. A reprieve, I believe, though short, I admit, is in order before we begin. If I can't get to Kyle, I'll paint on my smile and start with one of his friends. No, dude. No, dude. I heard Carrie scream as I was sitting down at the breakfast table. I swear that feeling of dread that coursed through me felt just like an electric current. I knocked my cereal bowl from the table as I scrambled out of my seat toward the front of the house. I opened the door just as she reached it, and she collapsed in my arms, hysterical. She was only barely holding on to things before. Now she's just broken. I don't know what we're going to do. I think Detective Carr is going to put something in the paper tomorrow, and I'll have to talk to Kyle about this, finally. I didn't want to needlessly scare him, but it's time he knows. I really want to just get the hell out of here, but it seems impossible. We have no savings to speak of. I'm paying off student loans, and we have bills. We can't just leave our jobs until we figure this out. We're stuck here. Stuck here, questioning the motive of every person we come across, thinking that it's him. What is this plus? What is this plus? Oh, okay. Is this the, oh, okay. This is the, it takes us to the X place of Max Shepard, creeping _dread. Who is the author? Wow.
Nice.
Well done so far, man.
I'm riveted.
I'm all in.
Oh, most definitely.
There we are. Sorry. So I think you're done with time for now, right?
Yeah, I gotta get off and go.
Gotcha.
To work.
Gotcha. Okay.
Are we gonna do this every night till Halloween?
We at least have to do this tomorrow night to finish this damn story. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely. So I guess be back here with us tomorrow at what are we gonna do? 7:30.
7:30 is gonna be the planned kickoff time for tomorrow night. So again, we'll have another not too short, not too long reading stream. So if anybody's coming in and wants to check it out, we will be here around 7:30 time. What is it? Central Daylight Time now, because we're not out of the daylight savings time frame, whatever. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
whatever that is.
Central Daylight Time. But yeah, if you like the video, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, please subscribe to the video if you're on YouTube. If you're over on Twitch, don't forget to follow me or Tricomy over at twitch.tv/Tricomy. New streamers, we're trying to do the best we can out here, and if you have any idea of or any more stories you want us to read, or anything that you find interesting, or any concepts you want us to kind of work on, put it down in the comments. Send us a message or whatever like that. We're more than happy. I read every comment that comes across on the YouTube. Yeah, it'll be fun. But I think other than that, we're gonna go ahead and end this one right here. But other than that, we'll see you next time. Thanks, horror fans.
Bye.